food. And we welcome you. We are looking forward to working with everyone to advance this objective that we have to make Rutgers students become leaders in this industry as we move forward. So to conduct our activities today, I would like to quickly introduce a few people who are going to help us direct the affairs. I believe many of you here, both at Rutgers and outside Rutgers, know the person I'm going to call to be the director of our affairs. He is none other than Professor Robson, who is the dean of our urban agricultural program. He is passionate about how we can make agriculture work for all of us much better, especially as we face the challenge of having to feed 9 billion people in less than 30 years from now. And the assignment is well cut out for us, and Mark has been at the forefront of helping us to lay out our strategy for moving forward at Rutgers to tackle that challenge. So please join me in welcoming Professor Robson.
As a person with dean title, you spend your career welcoming people and sending them away. And it's far more exciting to welcome you than to say thank you for coming, because at the time that happens, people have already sort of mentally checked out. So Albert's been here 19 years, so he's really new. I've been here 40 years, 4 degrees, 3 jobs, and 1 wife. And so Mom dropped me off in 73, and she hasn't come back yet. So Rutgers has either been a really good place for me, or I've just not been smart enough to figure out it was time to leave. But how wonderful it is this morning to have this event, because it is an inaugural event for the Entrepreneur Program that very much is to the credit of Dr. Zingenhorn, Dr. Bill Sharappa, and Dr. Adrian. These 3 folks really were the catalyst, the stimulus, and the hard workers to make this happen. Several of us worked with Albert and Bill on delivering the course, worked with Zania on putting the package together, but those 3 folks really were the nuts and bolts to make this a success. How wonderful it is to welcome back Bob Morris to our program this morning, a Rutgers alum. He reminded me this morning that he was a year behind me. As you can see, Bob and I use the same hair product. But we're excited about being. I mean, look over at that picture, Bob. That's really, it looks like we're seeing that. It does. But goddamn, we're good looking, aren't we? We certainly are.
A new place for new research.
And an entrepreneurial opportunity. But for the young men and the 1 young woman who are entrepreneurs today, this is really exciting for you, because it made all of us stop and think about this is really the bottom line about agriculture. You know, a few years ago when Dean Goodman made the decision that we were going to revisit and reinvent the Ag Science program, the program that I got my bachelor's degree in 1977, we had 8 kids in the major. We have over 50 now. So it wasn't because people weren't interested. It was because what we had wasn't what people wanted. It wasn't contemporary. It wasn't relevant. It wasn't useful. And I was pitching this little program to the farmers. And I went down and gave a talk at the Gloucester County Board of Agriculture. And as Dr. Sharappa will tell you, as one of our county faculty, our county farmers are pretty direct. They don't pull a lot of punches. And so I gave my little talk, and I got polite applause at the end. And then this guy stood up and said, I don't need you to teach my kid how to grow peaches. He knows how to grow peaches. I need you to teach my kid how to make money growing peaches. And I said, that's a hell of a lot more work. But it challenged us to think about what we offer. And so the internship, the course that Albert put together, the internship that our students are going to report on this morning, and hopefully the wise words that Bob is going to give us as we wrap this up will move us towards that. So thank you all for coming out on a Saturday morning. Thank you, Albert, for working so hard to put this all together. I have high hopes for these folks' presentations, and we'll get to see what PowerPoint can do to you. Years ago, when I taught a course at the medical school, the evaluations were actually quite more detailed than they are. The Rutgers evaluations are pretty crisp. For the medical school evaluation, on the back it said, what did you get from this course? And 3 smart-ass kids wrote PowerPoint poisoning. So I'm counting this morning that we don't see PowerPoint poisoning. So Dr. Ayani, the floor is yours to start with our first student.
Okay.
And let's stay away. There's lots of coffee. There's lots of good baked goods. None of them are healthy, Dr. Ayani.
They should be healthy.
But damn, they're good.
Because they are from Rutgers catering. So they should be very good.
Oh, they're very delicious.
Yes. Okay, what I want to do is to just quickly talk about each of our interns before the presentation begins. You do, I believe you have this paper with you, which briefly describes each of our interns. Sabedo Argueta is a student of environmental business economics. He interned in the Brunswick community farmers market. This young man is highly driven as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. His internship experience covered greenhouse production of a variety of vegetable crops, their marketing and distribution at the community level. He partnered with another intern, Matthew Smith, who couldn't be here today, but the presentation that Sabedo is going to give will reflect what they both achieved together during their internship. Both of them had a broad range of experiences in greenhouse management for vegetable crop production, produce marketing, and distribution. Sabedo did his class presentation during the semester on green roof production and has great passion for this production scheme. He hopes to develop his own business around the urban setting to respond to community needs for food and recreation. So we are delighted, and that's Sabedo. Could you please rise so that they see you and welcome you. The second speaker, the second intern is Adrian Cardona. He's a student of food science. He interned at the Food Innovation Center, as well as at the Rutgers Agricultural Research and Extension Center. Adrian is a bright young man whose interest is in food business. He acquired significant experience working with a startup company. Those of you who have seen his poster will see the flyer there. I mean what do you call it now? The logo of the company. Flying Meatballs. Currently going through incubation at our Food Innovation Center. Adrian was particularly fascinated by the food safety protocol that must be followed in food processing. He hopes to become an entrepreneur after graduation. So I think most of his accomplishments were as a result of the dedication of one of the mentors who is present here with us today. And I would please like to recognize Donna Schaffner for helping us to put So Adrian, please rise for people to see you. Our third intern is Austin Kaiser. Kaiser, I always make that mistake. Kaiser or Kaiser. What he says is Kaiser. Okay? He's an environmental business economics major. And he interned at the Eco Complex. Austin's interest is in the area of developing internet apps for business intervention in agriculture. At the Eco Complex, he interacted mostly with the Eco Walls, a startup company undergoing an incubation at the Eco Complex. Eco Walls develops ornamental plants for interior wall decor. Austin also learned about alternative energy options that are promoted at the Eco Complex, especially the conversion of municipal waste to biogas for various energy uses. He learned about aquaponics, but now seems more interested in collaborating with the Eco Works in the area of business promotion using internet apps. So, Austin, please rise so that. And I must also say that Austin was very fortunate to have very, very dedicated mentors at the Eco Complex, and I want to recognize Dr. Sabedo, who is the director of Eco Complex, and my friend David Specker. They work together. You are my friend too, please. By all means, yes. So thank you to both of you for the dedication to mentoring. One of our interns who couldn't be here today is Jessica Mota. She's an animal science major. She interned at the Rutgers Agricultural Research and Extension Center in Bridgeton. Some people like to call that location Centerton, some call it Upper Deerfield. But I think for easy reference, Bridgeton is the closest fairly big size community. Jessica's interest is in raising rare animals as pets. She interned at Rutgers Agricultural Research and Extension Center because she would like to know how to produce plants to feed to her animals when she becomes an entrepreneur raising rare animals. So at the Rutgers Agricultural Research and Extension Center, she learned about the production of some vegetable crops, including asparagus, processing tomato, and green beans. Jessica couldn't be here, but we also like to recognize her mentor, Tom Orton, who also couldn't join us. Then the final intern, Matthew Smith, is an agricultural science major. He couldn't join us, but his experience is going to be shared with us by his partner, Sabedo. They both worked at they both interned at the New Brunswick Community Farmers Market. Excuse me. Matthew is an enthusiastic and very serious-minded young man whose focus is commercial urban agriculture. He interned with Sabedo. Together, they accomplished a lot in understanding the details of community farming in an urban setting and hope to establish their own community farming business after finishing from Rutgers. As part of their internship experience, the two traveled to Chicago and Milwaukee late in summer 2013 to participate in some agricultural shows where they shared in some unique urban ag practices that are yet to be adopted on the East Coast. So Matthew Smith and Sabedo worked together very, very closely throughout the internship period. And they have one of the best mentors on the campus. And that mentor was the one who is coordinating our affairs here this morning. And that's Dr. Mark Robson. Please join me in giving him a big round.
Paul Helms did all the work. Where's Paul? Paul
is Paul here? Yeah. Oh, Paul, I'm sorry. Paul also worked directly with Matthew and Sabedo.
I just yelled at them. Paul actually gave them guidance and some virtue.
So, thank you, Paul, for the dedication. We appreciate what you have done, and we could see it in what they have been able to put together. So please, Matthew is not here, but Sabedo is going to represent the two of them in their presentation. So these are our interns. We are very pleased to have this very energetic, enthusiastic, and exciting crop of interns. So I will now ask the first speaker to set the ball rolling. Our program is a little bit modified. The first person to speak will be Austin Kaiser, who will be describing to us his internship experience, his accomplishments, and all that went with it.
I'm going to switch my computer for that one.
Okay, you need the.
I can do that right now? Yeah. Thank you.
We have to go at this.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm good. Let's get this started, all right? Let me just test this out.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. That's great. I hate being behind the podium. I feel like you end up just clenching it real hard or leaning or something like that. Hi guys, my name is Austin Kaiser. I'm a SEBS senior here, studying environmental business economics. Aiming to graduate this May if I can get through the remaining 42 credits that I have to complete. There's a lot to go. But so yeah, so today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my summer interning at the Eco Complex and the opportunities that it afforded me. And specifically, I'm going to be talking about what I learned about the opportunities for an agricultural entrepreneur, specifically in marketing, and specifically in social marketing, the internet, and kind of how new social media is affecting the way consumers buy products and the way businesses can kind of read their and know their audience. So it's about social marketing, conversation, and engagement. Should be pretty lighthearted. I want to let you guys first off and foremost know that I don't particularly like PowerPoints. I feel that they're good presentation aids and they're nice visual aids, but ultimately people end up reading the text on the screen more than they pay attention to the words out of the speaker's mouth. So you'll find that mine is very bare bones. It's very minimal, so I'll be saying most of the things. But okay, so that's all. So we will get started. I want to start by saying that I had a subtle interest in marketing prior to this, not a very big one, but the marketing research I was able to do through the Eco Complex really shed light on marketing for me. It made me really question the kind of, I guess, the accepted definition of what it is, and it also showed me an emerging divide in marketing philosophy today, and I hope to share that with you guys. 3 things I'm going to be talking about today are going to be, 1, the Rutgers Eco Complex and the opportunities that I got through it. 2, I'm going to do a quick crash course in 101 social marketing for you guys who might be a little bit lost. I know I was just maybe 4 months ago. And then I'm also going to end about talking about one of the most powerful and promising tools that I find regarding the the agricultural entrepreneur, excuse me. It's called crowdfunding. I'm sure you guys, some people may be familiar with it. It's not a particularly new topic, but if you don't know about it, don't worry, I'm going to explain it. And if you do know, hopefully I can still teach you something new about it. So, let's see what we can do. So this is my little handy dandy notebook. So you can see me refer to this a little bit. I love it. Okay. So this is the Rutgers Eco Complex. Just a quick show of hands. Who here has actually been to the Eco Complex? There's a good amount of people. Just about, okay. I figured as much. Okay, then I don't have to go through. It's about an hour and change south of here. It's a research facility. You guys, I'm sure, already know that. And the Rutgers Eco Complex has what's called a business incubator inside. Those of you who don't know what a business incubator is, it's a lot like what it sounds like. The Eco Complex has a lot of cutting-edge technology and space that they're able to kind of affordably rent to environmental startups looking to get their foot in the door. A lot of startups obviously don't have lots of financial resources, And so to be given the opportunity to use some of the technology and space here is a big push for them. They're able to kind of have a small scale of their production and get a little more credibility and validity so they can get investors to back them up. So it's a great opportunity, it's a very cool thing. And through that business incubator, I was able to link up with the environmental startup company that I actually currently work for now, which is called Eco Walls. Eco Complex, Eco Walls, get a little confused what's going on. But Eco Walls is a great company, and that, as Professor Ianni said earlier, Eco Walls design living walls. They're these big, beautiful vertical landscapes. You may have seen them. They're kind of cropping up a little. They're getting a little more popular. They're an emerging product, but very interesting, very cool. I know Dr. Ianni already kind of put the spotlight on it, but I had to thank Dr. Serpo-Garan for being a very responsive and very aware mentor of mine. She listened to me a lot, and I think she really helped connect me to projects that fit both my skills and my interests, and I appreciate that. But also, not to go and mention Dave Specker. I never seen him without a smile on his face. He's an enormously friendly guy. Oh, don't not smile on that. Enormously friendly guy. He gave me plenty of tours of the Eco Complex and really helped open my eyes to the vastness of what it is that they do. Moving along real fast, man. Okay, so I'm going to mainly talk today in my presentation about specifically the marketing interactions that I found by doing market research for the startup I work for, Eco Walls. The marketing research that I found really helped change my conception of what marketing is, and also led me to uncover kind of a divide that's currently happening right now in marketing philosophy. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this right about now. Here we go. We're going to start with this. Social marketing. This is today's buzzword, engagement. You're going to hear me say engagement a lot. Now, engagement, defined in the dictionary, is simply involvement or participation. But for our purposes today, we're going to try and look at everything through the lens of a marketer. And so I'm going to define it a little more specifically. And engagement would mean the enthusiasm and interest of a consumer to be involved with non-purchasing aspects of the company. Pretty dry, I understand that. And you're probably reading, what is a non-purchasing aspect anyway? Well, all I mean by engagement is that any aspect that isn't buying or selling. So if you're a person who also reads the company blog because you think it's a very interesting topic, or you watch their YouTube videos, then you're a more engaged customer than simply someone who would just buy the product. The level of customer engagement is a kind of a new thing for companies, especially now with all their social media presence, and it's important for companies to kind of try and measure their engagement. The engagement of certain industries vary. Industries that have to do with hobbies or passions, you'll find really engaged people. Think about the own products that you guys buy for your passions. I know photography buffs, they have enormous blogs that they debate Nikons and Canons. That's engagement. That's kind of what I'm talking about. The fact that they think about the products and the brands outside of just buying it. They're invested in it a little bit. It's an emotional thing. Skateboarders, I skateboard. I watch every video that Red Bull comes out with on their YouTube channel. You know, they're not making me do that. That's just me as an engaged consumer of their product. It's a media product and not quite the Red Bull that you think of the company, but it is showing a level of engagement. And similarly, what is it? I'm sure there's 1,000 mom blogs who review every Johnson & Johnson lotion that come out and how their kids affected by it. So you can kind of understand what I'm saying when I refer to high levels of engagement, especially for specific industries. Kind of the thesis statement. I don't really have much of a thesis statement, but overall what you're going to find with what I throw at you guys is that environmentalists and environmentally conscious consumers are amongst the highest engagement that I've ever witnessed from a customer segmentation. Basically, they check out the company, they make sure that the company is representing themselves right, they want to make sure that every claim is correct. Most products we kind of buy and purchase without even realizing, without doing too much background, which is fine. It's not that important to us. But environmentally conscious consumers, I recognize, are just extremely engaged. Extremely engaged. Let's keep moving. Okay, so right here, this is a good example of the engagement that I encountered. This is a screenshot of a blog, Naturally Savvy, which is a pro-organic blog that I suppose reviews certain products and recommends them to all its readers. And I don't know if you guys heard about this, but very recently, Naked Juice had to remove its all-natural label. It was found to actually, in fact, be using genetically modified organisms as opposed to growing its ingredients organically. And this is a prime example of environmentally conscious consumers being very engaged, except more in a negative way, where they trampled Pepsi and Naked Juice tremendously on all types of social media, on Twitter, blogs. They were just hammering them for weeks on end. And that can kind of show you that a high level of engagement is a bit of a double-edged sword. You really have to, you have to act the way you kind of brand yourself. And Naked Juice is not really doing a good job of that. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys before we get into more about engagement, which is the main part of my talk. I want to quickly show you guys, give you a little bit of context about this marketing riff that I was talking about. I know it's very exciting. Traditional marketing. We'll start off with that way. Traditional marketing is inherently interruption-based, if you kind of think about the way you encounter advertisements or the way you learn about new products. They're all interruptions. They're commercials on TV, commercials on your radio, pop-up ads on your web browser, maybe on your app phone. That's all what I consider traditional, old-school, interruption-based marketing. Keep going. There you go. This is just visual interruption, I guess, just a billboard that exists only to be seen. Brad Pitt, not Brad with gas, not there with planes. Here you go. Interruption again, just an example of stuff that you encounter, ads that are kind of thrown at you involuntarily. They're kind of a one-way street as far as communication goes. A company's broadcasting an image or a product at you, regardless of if you're interested, it could be very irrelevant to you. And that's something that new age marketers, we're trying to kind of get rid of. We want things to be more personal. I'm going to explore that a little bit right now. Interruption marketing is now being replaced with conversational marketing. Now, conversational marketing opens this up and makes everything a two-way street. The reason this can exist is because of the internet and social media, and the reason that, and because people are so engaged and voicing their opinion on the internet, now companies have a chance to kind of make their own Twitter page, their own Facebook page, and respond to these to what people are talking about. Meanwhile, previously people would have to, or companies rather, would have to hire research groups, hire other things to get responses out of people, but nowadays on the internet it's just being said left and right. There are plenty of things being said. Let's keep going. Here, this is a good example of what I'm talking about by conversation marketing. It's kind of a vague conceptual topic, so we'll start off right here. This is a screenshot of a tweet that Clayton Hove tweeted at Smart Car. You guys are familiar with Smart Cars. He says, "I saw a bird had crap on a smart car." Totally. Now, this kind of snarky little comment, previously, before the internet age, what would a company do? Well, nothing. You wouldn't address it at all. There's no medium even to address a comment like that in. Now, whoever was working the official Smart Car Twitter that day, I think should get a pay raise because they responded in the perfect way that exemplifies what I'm talking about as far as conversational marketing. Couldn't have been one bird. Sounds more like 4.5 million. Seriously, we did the math. Let me blow this up right quick. It would take 4.5 million pigeon craps to damage a smart car's trillion safety cell, 360,000 turkey craps, and 45,000 emu craps. Now, people are saying, okay, this is humorous, but is this legitimate in any way? Like, what's the point of the graphic designer making this and the intern manning the Twitter to respond to these clowns? Like, what do we get out of this exactly? Well, I'd like to tell you, because conversational marketer is kind of a new breed, and quantifying our worth has been very difficult. But with new tools and new software that's coming out to kind of accommodate that, we've been able to. So, mind you, with this,